there, thrifting fans. This is Brand Bear. Here, ready to go to another thrift shop. We're going to try to get some film from the inside. I was going to show you the line that was outside of this little thrift shop out here in the middle of nowhere. I was literally out the door and over to the street, but they just opened up, and so they're starting to head in. So I'll let you go here, and we'll catch you on the inside. All right, so we're parked here. Hopefully you don't see anything. I don't know how much you're going to be able to hear me with the mask on, but we're walking up to the etc. shop now, and there's still a line outside. I know they only let about 19 people in at a time because of COVID, but they already let one thing of people in, and they're starting to hopefully let some more others in. But I'm going to get off here so I don't draw too much attention to myself. Okay. Okay, we're doing a little shop with me here. We're at our favorite little etc. shop. Cute little thrift store near us. We first came in. This is a table that's set up front. Maybe choice items, maybe not. It's kind of random what they put up there. There's a typewriter down there. Looked at it. It's a Sharp, not a Brother. We have done good selling Brothers. We sold a couple in the last couple months, but they wanted $20 for that Sharp, and with the comps on it, it was a little newer. I just didn't feel comfortable picking it up. If you did see just before this, you seen like a little rubber stamp for making signs, and I think we passed that a little bit, but yeah, it was really cool. It was in a wooden box, and it was had some age to it. I wanted to pick it up, but it was one of those things where I was like, I'll just look around, I'll come back, it'll still be there probably, hopefully, and it wasn't. Someone picked it up before me, so keep that in mind. You could always put stuff back on the shelf that you see, but if you go back, someone else might have already picked it up. There's some older kind of paper here. There's newspapers, old pieces of books. This piece right here had Elvis on it, but it was one single piece and it didn't look like enough to pick up. It's an older comic. There's a lot of comics out there, and there's a lot of people that deal in comics, so $1.25 on the comic seemed a little much. It was Dot. I don't know that character. It's, probably older. I'm not familiar with Dot. The prices at this store are always really reasonable. We usually load up at least a cart. I'm usually walking out with a bag of clothes and a box of hard goods. This is a little record here, Polka. Didn't know enough about it. Not sure what the records were going for. I know they have a section with 10-cent vinyl. I don't think these were 10 cents. They might have like 25 or $1 on them. But yeah, I don't know enough about records to get into them. And there's so many. So I went ahead and passed on those. I do end up buying stuff. This first table I just glanced over and wanted to see what they had in shoes and what else they had going. Excuse me. A couple pieces of art here. Got a few baskets. A few, I guess. Probably 100 baskets here, and they're all really reasonably priced. I have picked up a big lot of Lundenberger baskets. Longenberger baskets. Sorry about that. Picked up a lot of Longenberger baskets here that I think I might have overpaid for. They were the only ones that actually were priced up. The rest of these baskets are somewhere around $1 to 50 cents, and better for just decorating. If you see something quality there, even if it isn't a name brand, maybe it'd be worth picking up, depending on the style. Here's a little necklace that was out of place, little fake jewelry. Don't know what the cost on it was, so put it back. So yeah, lots of baskets, really cool. I enjoyed this basket right here. Had the fish on it. Looks like an old fisherman's basket that you would keep for fish you caught. You know, this one was just obviously decorative. It did go for 15 originally, wherever it was being sold at, and it was 50 cents. Here's another one that I wish I would have picked up, but I did end up passing on it. In the beginning, I'm always a little hesitant. I want to see what else is there, but these were pressed flowers in between glass. So probably someone did for a special event or something like that, but like 35 cents, I went ahead and picked that up. Unfortunately, one of them did end up being broke, so probably not going to get anything out of that. But 35 cents was worth a risk to look at. This was kind of a cool purse. a little wicker kind of purse. It was in really good shape. Probably didn't look like it had been used. I couldn't see the price on it. I think it was like $2 or something. I could have picked that up and probably made a flip on it. Lots and lots of shoes. Lots and lots of women's shoes. The price on the shoes here is really good. Here we go. So these are a pair of Nike cleats. And the bottoms, they look a little dirty, but somebody did not wear these very much. They had like the patent leather, orange, big black Nike check. So I don't know what's going to go on with COVID and sports coming up, but I did go ahead and pick those up for $2. These are a pair of Skechers, wide bottom kind of there, kind of cool look, but I went and passed on those. But they were a large size. I probably should have picked those up. I know some people make their whole living off of doing shoes. I like to pick up shoes because they do sell and they got a good turnover rate, and you don't hold on to them too long usually if you get the right brand. These are some sharp little yellow heels. I thought those yellow heels looked kind of nice. I looked into them. They're a little beat. For something that looks like that, I think you would want a cleaner look. You know, you don't want something that looks worn. Those were also really nice. Only $2 on those. I could have probably turned a profit on those ones, but I don't know enough in women's shoes. I'm trying to learn. I know men's brands. I know athletic wear shoes, and that's usually what I stick to. But yeah, tons of good shoes. Great prices here. A lot of these shoes at the Goodwill would have probably been $4, $5, $10, and then at this place, most of them are around $2 to $3. More shoes, more shoes. Those are a nice pair of work boots. They were wore in a little bit, but they were Red Wing. No, it's a made in the USA brand. Um, those would have probably sold well also. I think they maybe wanted $4 on those. Nope, only 3. So that would have been a good pickup. They did have a little bit of wear on them, but the insides were still really good. And people put soles in them. And people sometimes, if you're in work boots like that and you're outside all day working, sometimes a little wear on your work boots so they're not so stiff is a good thing. More ladies' shoes. Lots and lots of shoes. And you see why I come here. This place is great. They're just overloaded with so much good stuff. And the prices are so reasonable. Oh, pair of shoes I looked at that weren't in the shop. Fergalicious, the pop artist Fergie maybe brand. I think her time has passed, and I think those shoes did as well. So we went ahead and also passed on those. Not for us. Ooh, Steve Madden. We did get these. This is high pump shoe, suede, and they had these cool metal bottoms. So, a little different. Steve Madden's a good brand, I think, still. Like I said, I don't pick up a lot of ladies' shoes, but I went ahead and picked those up. Here's some of the hard goods. Little granny plates, little knickknacks, this and that. This stuff will still sell pretty well. You get it for the right price. Not seeing anything super special here yet. Here's a little edged glass. Not crystal, maker's mark. But they were a nice set. 20 cents a glass isn't bad. Collectible spoon. This one was Oregon. It was a little older. If you're collecting all the states, might have been good. Put the spoon back. You wouldn't know it from the beginning of this video, but I walked out of here with a cartload of things. That's a cute little squirrel. It was well done. Here's some green glass. It did have a mark. It was a brand out of Cleveland. I forget the name of that brand. Cleveland, Ohio. So the bottom shelf here is all half priced. So we're going to go ahead and take a look there, see if there's anything. Little vase, coolers. Nothing I can't live without. There's a little sign there that said, "My daughter's growing up to be just like her mother, lucky girl," or something like that. I thought that was kind of cool. That type of thing will sell. Some mom buy it as a gift, maybe. Some daughter buy it for her mom as a gift. There it is. There's the sign. Yeah, that's fun. It's hard to pick up the what it said on it. That's why I tried to tell you. So some ornate picture frames, some good ornate picture frames will do well. You can get them cheap. 25-cent little knickknack. Hard goods not looking super hot today. Give a glance over to bags. Lots of bags. Lots of lady stuff here. Unless it's a brand that really pops out or a style that really pops out on me with the bags, I don't spend a lot of time with the bags. We haven't sold many. I mean, they will. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there that's doing lots of bags. That was like a leather, maybe a pleather fossil bag, and I think they went at $4 or $5 on it. Fossil. I think that's the same as the Fossil brand for watches and stuff. Probably it was a mall brand bag at some point. But yeah, that was kind of nice. More bags, little black bags. Excuse me while I get a drink of water here. Though it's a little scratchy today. Alright, more black bags. And check the inside for conditioning, check the stitching, check the quality of the product. Nothing there that I couldn't live without. We are into some more hard goods. If you notice the inside of this store, and it's done so well, the floors are really done, and it's kept so clean. It doesn't feel like shopping at a thrift store. It's the nicest thrift store I've ever been in, I would say. But the prices are amazing, really generous with their pricing. Those globe mugs. Oh, I should have gotten those globe mugs. And here I am distracted by all of these little wood frames. We have a bunch of the Polaroid pictures, and I'm always looking for a series of frames that are small in that size to put all of our instant camera Polaroid pictures in. So I looked right past them. But yeah, and I looked right past those globe mugs again. I didn't notice until I got home and looked over the video that I had passed on those. If you see those, that set sells well. I think we comped it somewhere like 80, 90 bucks. Here's some different stuff. A few little clutches or handbags or whatever you call those. Look through here. Old perfumes or old sealed makeups that maybe have been discontinued that someone likes will do really well on eBay if you find the right ones. That picture frame with the shoe was kind of cool, 75 cents. That might have been something I could have flipped pretty easy. I wanted to look at this little etched out. I thought it was maybe crystal or something. It was really heavy, but it was like had a little rabbit on the one side, so I was looking at that. Yeah, crystal on there, and then so yeah. But it's like, I didn't know who would want that little. Who wants this little rabbit? Maybe decorating around Easter time in the spring or something. You might like that. There's a little bulldog. Looks like a boxer maybe, but he had chips on the ear. It wasn't too well done, but the painting wasn't great on that either. A little steam pot down there might have done well. Bunch of cool stuff. Lots of hard goods. I've been picking up a few mugs recently. I didn't pick them up for a long time, but I've recently been getting back into picking up really interesting mugs. There wasn't anything too interesting there today in the mug section. That was a cool picture. Let's see. I do think I picked up something here. There it is. This is a nice little piece of stained glass. You can't keep a smile. It can only be given away or something. But yeah, 30 cents. That's pretty. Had a nice color that came through it. Good condition. Looks like maybe the 70s with that flower style and the color pattern. And so the wood frame so said 70s to me. So I picked that vintage little piece of stained glass up. And here I am looking through frames again, looking for ornate frames. I think there you go. See, that's got a little bit of, that's kind of cool. The frame's kind of cool in that. $1.20. Probably could have flipped it for maybe a $20 bill. There's I'm playing with this little game here. You have to excuse me. There's a little basketball game here that I had to play with. I don't know how anyone could walk past this and not give it a shot. I did not do very well. Shoot better free throws on the actual court, I believe, that I could have this thing. But it was so cool. It was fun. I ended up actually going back a couple of days later. When they're only open Monday, Wednesday, Friday right now. So I went. I think this was like a Monday or so. And I went back on the Wednesday and I actually bought this. We got it home and played with it a little bit, and we actually broke one of the balls off. So now it's gonna be ours. And I play with it. My son plays with it. It's kind of fun. It just sits out on the desk. And so looking at some puzzles. Puzzles were doing really well there. Um, for COVID, people wanted something to do with puzzles, and but with those ones that are open, you're gonna have to open it up, count the pieces, and people would prefer a sealed puzzle. I picked up this game, worst case scenario survival game. Um, it looks super fun. It looks older than it is. I looked at the age on. I think it's a 2002 game. Um, but here I'm just reading the back of it and checking it out. Sorry about that. Super fun. Like the front says, like, what do you do if attacked by a swarm of bees, and the other one's like shark attack, and so you play the game and you try to get around the board by guessing as you go the correct answer. And so on it, it had 99 cents. That's good price, and the sticker said fun. So they got me. Their marketing worked on me there, and so I picked that up. Comped out for like $20 to $30, so not a big flip on that. But people at home right now with COVID, bored. We'll count the pieces to make sure every piece is there, and we'll spread it out, make it look nice, take a couple good shots, and I think that's the kind of one that will probably sell pretty easy. So Browns fan, individual serving dishes here, like chips and stuff. Those are pretty cheap. Did pass on them, like plastic, and so figure if somebody wants that, they'll probably go and buy it new and it won't cost them too much. This was a nice stovetop wok. $3. Those are a couple fryer baskets from somebody's home fryer, but the fryer wasn't there. The baskets would still work maybe if you had the fryer, or if you just did like a Dutch oven with oil and checked the temperature. I actually thought about picking them up for myself. There's a Cincinnati Reds cup, a couple popcorn holders. There you go. This plastic kind of stuff. I look for Tupperware. I'll look for tumblers in this area if they have Starbucks or something. This is a little Texaco tin. I probably held like popcorn or chocolate at some point. I think 30 cents or so on it, and comped it out at about 15 to 20. And so gas, oil guys, people that are doing a garage, have a little shelf, they'll like that kind of thing, man cave stuff. Just a little decorator piece. You just put it up on the shelf. It was pretty cool. Texaco's got a good following. Some really nice paintings on the wall. We picked up a few paintings from here. Art you have to find the right buyer. Some of it will have good margins, but you may have a piece of art for a couple years before you find the right buyer. This is Tupperware. Tupperware always sells good. They have those Tupperware parties, and if you got like a set of Tupperware, but you're missing the 1 piece, the 4 ounce piece, or the 8 ounce piece, or whatever it is, and you want your complete set of Tupperware, I'll find those and pick them up. And those were 20 cents on one, I think, and 40 cents on the other. And I think out of each one of them, 10 to 15 bucks. But those will sell pretty quickly. Kind of a basic kind of knife set and knife block. This is apparently the red section. A bunch of red vases. They were okay. Nothing special. Some more hard goods. Try to keep the camera down so I don't catch anyone. Then still give you guys the best shot I can. So a bunch of yarn. Picked up yarn in the past. Yarn will just be what is it made of, the style, and there's just a lot of it out there. Looking for granny blankets, maybe? No. Here's a cool section. It's a little electronics section. I've made some pretty big scores over here. I bought I think 2 Brother typewriters from here. I got a bread maker from here recently in this section. I've picked up a phone that was a large number phone that sold for $80 for us, and so we always like to check out this electronics section. These are like resistant bands or for working out or something. I know a lot of home workout stuff is selling well right now, so I wasn't sure if that would be one that would sell good. Some alarm clocks here. Lots of stuff to look at. Bunch of different little flashlights. Here's a Norelco shaver, and I comped this out at about 25 bucks. And people will buy the replaceable blades for it. And if you have a shaver that you like and it's been discontinued and they don't make it anymore, sometimes people will go online to find those. And that one was selling, but just not super well and at a super high price. I had a little bag in my hand right there. It was a Canon camera. Canon is if you're gonna pick up cameras like that, Canon is a good brand to find. They wanted $6 on the bag, I think, so I went ahead and skipped on that. It's kind of a basic camera. We'll pass on that. I've picked up a few digital cameras that have done well. This was cool. So this was like a little digital chess set from like the 80s or 70s there, maybe 90s even, I'm not sure. But I remember we had one of these growing up. It was fun to play with. This one didn't have all its pieces, and it had like extra pieces to some, like it had multiple queens, I think probably for different games that you were able to play on there, but it didn't have all the pawns, and it was missing a couple pieces on the inside. So 75 cents, it was kind of cool. It might have been one of those things I probably could have picked up and then sold, because I'm sure those little pieces do go missing, and I'm sure that if you have one with a missing piece or two, you would be interested in picking that up. I probably could have flipped that for probably 25 bucks, maybe more. I might be wrong on that. I didn't comp it, but yeah, I had to pick it up and look on the inside. So yeah, you play the computer and you move the chess pieces into the spots, and then it picks up and then tells you where to move the computer's pieces. It's kind of tight in this area. I'm sorry, the shots aren't super great right here. It's also, I'm trying to find stuff for myself to sell as a business, but I like doing this. I like bringing you guys along. I like you guys being able to see what different communities are having and what different people are picking up. I think it's good that we have this kind of open communication. That, I believe, was like some sort of, it said suction something on it, so like some sort of handheld um, vacuum, the printer, some DVDs, an iHome for your iPod, a couple of different stereo systems. So there's a food processor here that I'm looking at right now, checking for damage, and it was in pretty good shape. It was an older food processor, but it's still in really good shape. In Hamilton Beach, so I went ahead and picked that up, and I think that we comped it out at about $50. That little square space right there, that was a bread maker space. Someone had already gotten it, I'm sure. Here, we ended up getting later, you'll see that middle, that little Belgian waffle maker, double-sided there. We picked that up. Those waffle makers are doing really good right now, those heavy duty ones like that. We have a single-sided one, and it's comped out at $80, and I think we haven't comped that one out, but it's similar, maybe a little more. Here's some stationery. I'll usually pick up a little bit of cheap stationery here for the office, and sometimes some vintage stationery you can resell. We've got post-its, vintage post-its, I guess so. Checking all the different stuff out. Love Halloween. If I come across anything Halloween, I usually gotta pick it up. They're pumpkins. A little silly. I see those stereos kind of often in here. I'm not sure what those comp out on. I know that with little radios and stuff, those are starting to sell again because there's being less of them produced, and people like to still have a little radio that plug them in their garage or shop or wherever they're at. It's easy to listen to music and just get the radio. Microwave's going to be too heavy for me. Ugh, Steelers. Sorry, Steelers fans. I'm sure there's somebody out there that was like, oh, that's cool. I know there's a lot of you. I'm a Bengals fan personally, but to each their own. Hats, 50-cent hats here. We've got quite the hat collection. Um, I still pick them up though, if they're in good condition and depending on what's on them. Behind this hat selection is the quarter rack section, so 25 cents per clothing item, which gives you great margins. And we do a lot of going through here, and I'll pick up usually LL Bean, Eddie Bauer, Columbia, and if it's a certain style that I think will sell, I'll pick it up if it's interesting or different. So that's our call so far. A couple pairs of shoes, stained glass, nothing huge yet. There we go. And usually when I'm here, I'm just boom, 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 running through, looking at labels, looking at styles. Sold enough clothes now that to kind of know what we're looking for. Athletic wear, that was a dry fit. That might have done well. This is Eddie Bauer. Really basic, kind of plain. Um, Eddie Bauer though, for 25 cents, I'll pick that up if I get $5 out of it, which is probably, you know, best case scenario on that one. But still, 25 cents for a piece of Eddie Bauer, that's a good flip. You'll find that'll sell. And I try to keep all of my hangers. It just helps the people that work there. They're not pulling all of your clothes off hangers. Most of their stores will have a sign that I ask you to remove your hanger. It's a piece of Talbot's. Thought about getting that. Can't remember if I did or not. I must not have. Yeah, okay. There was a condition issue on the neck, so I'll pass that. Here's a piece of vintage LL Bean. LL Bean sells well for us. A lot of bean heads out there. The texture on that shirt was kind of interesting, and it was vintage tag and 25 cents, so I picked that up. We'll probably get 10 to 15 out of it. It's Faded Glory. It almost looked like a vintage tag. Faded Glory does that. But Faded Glory is like a Walmart brand or a Kohl's maybe even some. I'm not sure. I think it's Walmart. Not that the clothes are bad. It's just that's not what we're looking for. There's a few of these Alfred Dunna shirts there or whatever they are, and I thought this one was done really well. And I don't know how much the camera's picking up there for us, but it was really nice color on it. It felt like velvet, and then it looked like knit, and then it had some really ornate kind of like jewels bedazzled around the neck. And I noticed some people that's probably pretty gaudy, but that's also something interesting and different. And you can see the stuff like that will sell for you. So just brand hunting right now. That Old Navy, but it was a good style. It was flowy. Thought about it, passed on it. I like to keep it to the higher end brands if I can. I like the tag on that Rudy Red or whatever it was. Thought that was something. This is Gap, and our Gap is pretty much fallen off as far as selling. Maybe that'll come back. Maybe that'll turn around. Sometimes that happens with styles. I did pick up that Gap just because it had the zipper on the shoulder. And so something like that with the zipper on the shoulder, it might be something that puts in the keywords. If somebody looks for like zipper, shoulder zipper, anything like that, and then it'd be Gap. So pick that one up for a quarter. We'll probably look to get $10 out of it. Brand hunting, looking for those brands. Here you go. Here's a Hollister shirt. Not bad. Not sure what the quality of the material was, but Hollister, a lot of these mall brands that were really popular in the late 90s and the early 2000s, a lot of those kids are coming into their 30s, 40s and have a little money now, and they're going back and they're buying those mall brands if they can find them. If you're looking for stuff like that, Abercrombie or American Eagle, and then a lot of the raised lettering stuff is doing well right now. How's Gap? I skipped on. It's in the back. Oh, I think it's another piece of Hollister maybe. So decent condition. All right. All right. So if you can hear me there, I don't know if you can. We just finished up at this cute little thrift shop up here. Hopefully we're not catching anybody's license plate on that. This is kind of what we got. If you see all that. And for that we paid $22 because it was $21.98 and donated the pennies. But yeah, pretty good haul. Big bag of clothes. This little food processor thing here, Hamilton Beach, and a game, a couple shoes here, but not bad haul for $22. We'll go through it and we'll see what's in there. All right, so that was our shop with me. I appreciate you guys tuning in.